Which is sponsored organization for this project. And future projects that we have.
Welcome. Thank you.
This is Dr. Jose Pascal. He is the president of the 17,000 member Society of Critical Medicine. He's an intensivist, neurointensivist.
Welcome.
This is Jeffrey Samuel. He represents the Republic of Liberia. They are the funder of the entire program. So they fund the Society of Critical Medicine, and then I'm implementing this for the Society of Critical Medicine. As a doctor, I'm one of the members of the society. This is Andy Gauss.
Nice to meet you.
He works for PCI Gases, which is the energy, which is the company that sells the energy efficient oxygen delivery system, and which is the most energy efficient oxygen delivery system compared to all others. So it only uses the PSA system. So you have the most energy efficient oxygen delivery system in Liberia or in Africa you have at that hospital.
So it's really good to meet you.
Nice meeting you. It's a pleasure to be in the presence of such great men.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for what you have done for Liberia. Thank you so much. On behalf of the President, I extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to you. Because the impact that oxygen tech we have is not just, don't look at it just as infrastructure. It will save lives. As you know, we have high maternal mortality, so the presence of that oxygen will help to decrease maternal mortality, help to decrease neonatal mortality, and all other complications. You also know that it's in the southeastern region, so you can have referrals from other hospitals to go there.
Now, the Society of Critical Care Medicine also, in addition to installing this energy efficient oxygen delivery system with renewable energy power from solar at the hospital 24 hours a day of energy, they also sponsor training programs where we train all the doctors and nurses at that hospital on best practices for recognition and treatment of patients. Not only that, but they've also trained all the biomedical technicians on maintenance of vacuum swing technology. And that was both online and hands-on. The hands-on is still to happen. It'll still be happening. And then we also train all of the same biomedical technicians on solar with an internationally recognized online solar training program The website is Solar Energy internationally recognized. And then, that's online training. Then we flew them to Ghana, where they had on training on the maintenance of solar systems and were issued specific solar personal protective equipment so they could safely maintain them. In addition, as a site of critical care medicine is focused on education, we sent teams here to Monrovia, to JFK Hospital, and we trained the course called the Fundamental Critical Care course for adult critical care and the Pediatric Fundamental Critical Care course of pediatric critical care and the Obstetric Fundamental Critical Care course. And we're willing to do more critical care training to help develop the critical care abilities of a hospital, of the health system. Yes, we're interested in the health system overall. We are here to take your recommendations as to what is best for the health system.
Thank you so much. So, I'm overwhelmed with the level of work we have already started to do. And we are now looking at San County, look at GFA, but we can look at in totality the referral hospitals. How this can be replicated in referral hospitals.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. You can have your seat.
Mr. Malcolm Andrew Goals, Mr. Bishop Ford, Dr. John Sampson, Mr. Kova L. Mulva, our health partners here present, UNICEF, WHO, UNFPA, Plan International. Our partners in health, Action Against Hunger, UNDP, and all our health partners that we have mentioned on the list. Our Minister of Health and all other staff of the Ministry of Health here present, other government officials here present, our colleagues, our invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to say a big welcome to all of you to the Ministry of Health, to Liberia, especially our special guests. We want to say that we are grateful that you were able to make Liberia, especially the Ministry of Health, one of your countries of support. We look at what you've done for us over the years, and we want to acknowledge and appreciate you for what you continue to do. Our solar oxygen plant, especially southeastern Liberia, we want to acknowledge the great work that we have done. And at this special turning over ceremony, we want to also point out that this is a significant milestone that will forever hold in our hearts, and that the health system will always remember, because of the critical importance of what you've done for us. You have helped us to trigger our health system, especially our infrastructure. At this moment, on behalf of the Minister of Health and all here present, and the President of the Republic of Liberia, we want to say welcome to the Ministry of Health. And this is where all health issues are discussed, decisions are made, and we want to say that we're proud to have you here to form part of this discussion. Thank you.
So we'll call Dr. Benedict Coley and Dr. John Sampson for that to happen. So the brief word will be presented by Dr. Coley.
Vice President Office, representatives of the President Office, our esteemed guest, the Honorable Minister of Health, other protocols duly observed and sustained. Our relationship with Johns Hopkins date back years and years. John and I were just in the hotel talking about it. In 2014, their group was interpreter when Ebola broke. So I was in Lofa with Harry, Mrs. Greaves, and with the news broke. They were very instrumental in teaching the staff at Jackson Dole Hospital with universal precaution and everything we needed to prevent and protect ourselves. When Ebola finally escalated, our hospital was the only major hospital that never shut down. We had Ebola cases coming in, but we had 0 staff infection, 0 death. When I was called, when the then secretary to the CMO contacted Ebola and they called me from Tapeta to come and see him, Dr. John Tabandada had just seen him. And I could see his note, but because I followed those basic concepts of universal precaution, John Tabandada died a few weeks later, and I'm still standing here. We moved a little step forward with this relationship when John invited us to Johns Hopkins at the patient safety program. So we are trying to get JACO accreditation. So a whole institute about patient safety. So we had our training, and John, we want to really appreciate the work you do across Africa. So globally, you will also know that there are disparity in healthcare resources. We have very little for our hospitals. A simple department at Hopkins will have 56, 86, 100 million. Our budget will be like maybe half of that for the entire country. So we have a lot of things. We have limited resources to fight a bigger war. So this collaboration that we have started with basic things like oxygen, electricity, as evidence that what you are doing is really highlighted. So when COVID struck, and they realized that oxygen that is universally available, the lack of that stuff was killing a lot of people. So the Society of Critical Care Medicine set out to kind of close these gaps of disparity. They are doing several projects. In Gambia, they are doing oxygen only. In Sierra Leone, they are doing solar only. But in Liberia, we are getting the double portion of that blessing. We are getting both solar and oxygen. So the first phase of the initiative is initiated at FJ Grant Hospital in Greenville, Sando County, in close collaboration with the Ministry of Health, under the leadership of our General, Dr. Luis Mboto. The project successfully installed oxygen system providing 24 hours of uninterrupted electricity. You can't give someone rice and you don't give them soup, all right? So the oxygen plant is there, there's electricity to run it, and this hospital is the first hospital in this country that currently have pipe oxygen to every bed. To every bed. So the analogy is someone putting water on their head and carrying it like JFK is currently doing. They got to put oxygen in containers to carry. At FJ Grant, you just turn the tap on and oxygen will flow. There are assumptions that are there to, suck stuff up when you want to do procedures. So that's how far the Society of Critical Care Medicine, the IGPC, and their partners have gone to elevate our healthcare system at another level, consistent with the dreams and aspiration of Joseph Boakai under the leadership of our Minister of Health. The infrastructure features solar farm, lithium ion battery, and phosphate. So lithium is the top notch. So electric vehicles, they run on lithium. They have the longest lifespan when you talk about solar, 25, 30 years. Conservative, it could be more than that if you maintain it. It has remote control capacity. So John can sit down in Johns Hopkins and know that one of the batteries is not functioning. Right there, that's how high tech it is. It's one of the biggest and most powerful systems that we have on any part of the world. So the project marks a major milestone in strengthening Liberian healthcare system, consistent with the arrest agenda for inclusive development. The initiative serves as a model feature, which features solar power and energy generation and the farm, so the two going together to make sure that the healthcare delivery system is not interrupted. So when people die across Liberia and many parts in the world, we say, well, they die for asphyxia, they die for heart failure. But the actual fact is that the lack of oxygen in some of those instances may be the direct cause of death. If we have oxygen, a lot of them will live. Our children that are dying, the neonates, all right? So we would not write lack of oxygen as a cause of death. But we know that that lack of oxygen, if oxygen was there and they have continual flow of oxygen flow to their brain, they will live, because the lack of oxygen for just a few seconds in the brain can lead to irreversible brain injury. So John and the rest of the team, the SCCM, the IGPC, would like to say thank you for this project. It's a super summary of the background of this project. We formally declare this project as it is, and would like to welcome the next speaker.
Critical care physician and global health physician at Johns Hopkins University, and also the founder of the Institute of Global Perioperative Care, which is just a non-profit partner of the Society of Critical Care Medicine. So basically, as Dr. Coley has mentioned, I've been working with Liberia for many, many years. Actually, even when Charles Taylor was here many years ago, I came here, worked at JFK on a Physician for Peace project in 1999. So we have a long history of working with Liberia in different fashions, including with the neurosurgery cases and the Coralibo Neuroscience Foundation. But fortunately, a few years ago, I was in communication with the Society of Critical Care Medicine, where they told me about an opportunity that they had. They told me that they had an opportunity to address issues of critical need in the area of oxygen. And when they told me this, I was literally in disbelief, because I actually never imagined that I would be able to help to address the dire oxygen scarcity that I personally had experienced here in Liberia. To be honest with you, in 1999, when I was doing anesthesia at JFK Hospital, there was a situation where one of the oxygen providers here in Liberia was giving room air in oxygen tanks. And the nurse anesthetist had experienced patients, children here in Liberia, who had had injuries of their brain from hypoxia experienced during regular anesthesia encounters. And so this reflects the struggle that I personally had participated in experiencing here in Liberia with dire needs of oxygen. And so I consulted with Dr. Ben Coley and the Ministry of Health and asked them what in Liberia would be the place that would best meet your national healthcare priorities for such a potential project for oxygen delivery. And I was expecting that they would tell me, some big place, that already gets lots of resources and stuff. But they actually met with each other, and they came back to me and they said, we want you to address a place that's been neglected over time. It shouldn't continue to be neglected. A place of great need. But we want to be honest with you. That place is not going to be easy for you. So we want to be transparent. That place is going to be difficult for you. I said, well, what place is that? And they said, the F.J. Grant Hospital in Sino County in Greenville, Liberia. And so they said that it is a remote place and it's going to be a difficult place to provide an oxygen delivery system. So I talked to the hospital administration at the F.J. Grant Hospital. We looked and researched it as much as we could, and we started planning on establishing an oxygen delivery system. But something was bothering me, because I'd experienced another problem in Liberia. The first time I came to JFK Hospital, there were power outages citywide, and actually at that point, people would actually charge car batteries and take them home to provide power for their homes. There was a time when that happened, when I was here. And so even though I knew that the power grid in Monrovia had been repaired, although it still had problems, I was wondering, what kind of electricity do they have in Greenville, Liberia, to provide power for this oxygen delivery system? So I came back to Dr. Coley, and I actually interrogated him, you know? Sorry, Dr. Coley, sometimes I got to interrogate him. I said, Dr. Coley, how are they going to provide energy? What is the energy situation of this hospital? And Dr. Coley told me, well, they're not on the grid. They just have diesel generator, and they actually don't have enough funding to provide diesel for all of the day. And so I went back to the Society of Critical Care Medicine, and they, in communication with Direct Relief, said, this project isn't going to be feasible without addressing the energy situation. And we don't want to just address it for the action plan. That would be self-centered. If we're looking at the healthcare center system, then we want to address the issue for the hospital overall. We shouldn't just be stabilizing the energy for the action plan. That would only be thinking about our little project itself. If we stabilize the energy for the entire hospital, then we really make the maximum impact on healthcare delivery in Sino County and its neighboring areas in Liberia that also depend on healthcare in Sino County. So Direct Relief approved for the Society of Critical Care Medicine to add a solar component. I actually was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. This was so impactful. I couldn't believe it. And it gave me joy to actually be able to meet virtually with the Ministry of Health and with Dr. Coley to give them this news that we're going to solarize, solve the energy problem at this hospital, and solve the oxygen problem in this hospital. Now, when you are building an energy field, you have to think about like how many panels you need. And how many panels you need is based upon how much energy you need. So if you are, let's say, if you're driving a tank or a big Hummer, right, to work every day, wouldn't that's a great thing, right? You're a big man, you can drive this big tank. But what if you have a limited amount of money for fuel? The guy who's driving a keke or a motorcycle, he has plenty of money. He can drive every day to work. But if you don't have any money for fuel, you and that Hummer can't even get to work. It can only sit pretty in your driveway. Okay? So we were so fortunate to be connected to PCI Gases, whose representative is here today, and he will explain this technology a little bit. Because their oxygen delivery system uses 30% of the energy of conventional oxygen delivery systems because of its design. So we think that Liberia deserves, right? Do you guys agree that Liberia deserves the best technology? Right? Yes, of course. Okay. So we wanted to make sure that we could give them the best technological solution. So what does that mean for our solar field? That means that we can be more efficient and we don't need quite as many panels because we don't need quite as much energy to deliver. And we can save all of the thousands of dollars that the hospital is also using on diesel. You know, I took a picture of Greenville, and I was standing next to a stack of oil canisters, not even diesel fuel. This was oil canisters piled higher than my height, just to maintain the diesel generator. That's just the oil for lubrication, not to speak of the diesel energy itself, to maintain that diesel. Okay? So now we have energy efficient oxygen delivery, and then we also have a renewable energy system for the whole hospital. Okay, but you know, when you're pushing those cylinders all over the place, okay? Those cylinders are so big, you know that some of the workers for pushing those cylinders get hernias? No, it's true. Hospitals that are using those cylinders, have you noticed that the stairs are broken at the footers of the stairs because of the cylinders hitting them? Think of the power you need to actually get those cylinders up the stairs. Okay, then you're taking the empty cylinders one way, the full cylinders another way, and every individual location has to worry about their cylinder going dry, so you still don't have enough oxygen. That's not the way we do it in the United States. Why don't we do it that way? Because that way isn't the best for the patient. The best for the patient is to have a system that pipes the oxygen to the patient's bedside. But you still have a system that can fill cylinders because there's times that you need cylinders, and you have a system that has backup. So that if there is a problem that the oxygen generation system has to go off, then you still have oxygen because you have a secondary oxygen supply with cylinders that can power the pipeline, though, and keep the oxygen flowing to the patient. So here we have that. And then in addition, as what Dr. Coley said, we also have medical air going to each patient's bedside. So when you turn on a ventilator, you don't have to just give them the maximal oxygen. You can actually mix it with medical air to give the appropriate amount of oxygen for that patient. How many of you know that the reason why Stevie Wonder is blind is because when he was a premature baby, he was given too much oxygen. So there are times that you don't want to give too much oxygen, okay? And in addition to that, by having medical air, we can actually create a vacuum system at the bedside, okay? So that you can actually suction patients in the operating room, in the ICU, in the maternity unit, in the neonatal unit. And so these are the different features of the oxygen delivery system. It's not an oxygen plant. An oxygen plant is a component of it. It's an oxygen delivery system that includes the oxygen plant, a gas monitoring system, a smart gas monitoring system, because it tells the oxygen plant when to give more or less oxygen, a renewable energy system, okay, that powers everything in the whole hospital, all of that tied together. And of course, we're proud to say, and we're proud for Sino County and for Liberia to say that that's the most advanced, comprehensive oxygen and energy system for the healthcare system in the country. But wait a minute, in the country? What about the other countries that surround it? No, it's more comprehensive than any of their systems. Oh, just the hospitals that are the countries going around it? But what about Ghana and Nigeria, our big brothers? It's more comprehensive than theirs. Yeah. Liberia has something to boast about. Right. So thank you for giving us this opportunity to help to improve the healthcare delivery here in Liberia. Thank you.
From the health partners, we'd like to call Mr. Tanquil Ahmed to represent the partners for plan. So he's from plan, he'll be representing the partners that give a brief remark.
Honorable Minister, Dr. Porto, esteemed guests, colleagues, and the dedicated members of Ministry of Health, with all protocols, it is a profound honor to stand before you today to express our deepest gratitude and appreciations to all the Ministry of staff working for Ministry of Health. I would say that the Ministry of Health is the guardian of most precious asset. And what is that asset? Health and well-being of people of Liberia. So the all work we are doing, we are working with you. We are trying to achieve all the policy and process you have placed to ensure the health and well-being of people of Liberia. I'm happy to see that the new technology is coming to the country, even though we have witnessed the number of PSA plant has been installed in the country. But I would say that with the leadership, dynamic leadership, currently is managing the Ministry of Health, and innovations bringing in the country is really, really important for the people of this country. So, under the Global Fund, we have also, installed the 4 PSA plant in Nimba, Lofa, Grand Jide, and Grand Cru. But the new technology, we can see it is really, really amazing, and we can see how it supports to the people. We all witnessed during the COVID, and I can see I was impacted in the second wave of the COVID. And we have seen closely that the life and death, how it goes. And that time, there is, as you mentioned, there is no substitute of the oxygen. People were sleeping on the floor or bed because there was no bed in the hospital. Even in the developing countries, it was so horrific situations to see. And I would say the some of us witness either the relative or colleagues going from us, isn't it? So this is not only the investment as equipment, but investment for future to deal with the all crisis in the country. So this is a great achievements, and we are, as a Plan International, behalf of the country director, Miriam, she is not here, but we have our CFM here. We appreciate your support, and we assure we have the big project in the country. We assure all the support to build the health system in the country and also take care of the communicable disease, which is the TB and then the HIV we are working for. So thank you for all support, and we appreciate your leadership, Dr. Poto, and the team. They are great support to all the partners we can see. Now that the time is to show the work on the ground, which community and people of the country can see and benefit from the health system. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. of Institute of Liberia, Dr. Julius Gediene, who is the Deputy for Technical Services for Liberia.
I'm pleased to stand on behalf of the Director General for the National Public Health Institute to make a brief remark on this occasion. We would like to commend and congratulate the Ministry of Health, the developmental partners, the government of Liberia, and every other stakeholders who have worked collaboratively to ensure that we achieve this very important milestone. And this milestone is essential towards what we refer to as health system strengthening, but I would like to add, let's say, sustainable health system strengthening. And in a resource challenge context like ours, it's imperative upon us to think outside of the box, but not only that, but to make use of local resources available to address some of the critical gaps that we experience in our health system. So sun, for example, is a very abundant natural resource in Liberia, and this is why I'm very excited that we have been able to initiate this project as a health sector. And something from what was presented up here that addresses the critical challenge of energy reliability, which is, and I listened to the presenter, he said if that can be a problem in Monrovia, what happens to the other hard-to-reach area, like for example the southeast. But it also addresses the issue of medical oxygen access, which is a critical problem for most of our critical health services, including emergency care, respiratory care, maternal and newborn health. We are delighted that the initiation of this project will ensure a steady, locally produced supply of medical oxygen, and like I said, a vital resource that is required to treat most of the emergency conditions. We see neonatal death being a major problem, and often we realize that one of the major causes is breath asphyxia, and oxygen is a resource that will help to address that situation. Together, let me say that we are delighted to see this innovation at work. And as we work towards addressing these systemic challenges and critical gaps that we experience within our system, I hope that this will not just be the beginning, and the end, but the beginning. We'll continue to think about innovative ways to address some of the challenges that we face. A couple of months ago, we've been having discussions around looking at ways to address sample transport problem across the country from a IDSR or epidemic preparedness and response perspective. And sometimes people sit in the meetings and there are some doubting Thomases. But with this in motion, we know that we can harness the right expertise, utilize available resources, and put our minds together to address some of these problems. I hope going forward, maybe over the next couple of months or a year time, we will have similar program to launch a more sustainable sample transport system that utilizes reliable or efficient resources to address the problems, especially coming from the Southeast. Bearing in mind that the road within the Southeast, especially during the rainy season, is a major problem. Well, thank you. Thanks to the drafter of this concept and the implementer of this initiative. We look forward to working collaboratively with you to ensure that our patients are safe and they receive the best available quality care. Thank you.
First Lady's office, the Office of the First Lady, Dr. Adam M. Kine, who's a senior advisor to the First Lady, will come and make a brief remark on our behalf.
So much. Whew. Well, let me begin first by standing on all existing protocol. I will begin by saying to breathe is a right, not a privilege. And today, with this remarkable solar power oxygen system, that right is being restored even in the farthest corner of Liberia. On behalf of Her Excellency, Madam Katumu Yata Boyka, First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Society for Critical Care Medicine, the Institute of Global Perioperatic Care, and Johns Hopkins Global Perioperatic Care as well, or Johns Hopkins Global Alliance of Perioperative Professionals, for this bold and life-saving intervention. This project, as the First Lady will say, goes beyond a machine or a pipe. It symbolizes justice, equity, and the shared belief that rural communities deserve the same quality of care as urban centers. It affirmed President Joseph Boyka, the President's vision for healthcare transformation where no Liberian is left behind. When you bring oxygen to a hospital, you bring breath to a nation. When you power it with sun, you light the way for generations to come. Let it be recorded in the history of our nation healthcare journey that in Greenville, in Sinai, hope found an engine and breath found its freedom. This is an infrastructure and an investment in dignity. As the sun power of this oxygen plant made it also ignite a new era of innovation, dignity, and access in our healthcare system. Let this model shine from Greenville to JFK, from Sano to every village, waiting for breath, for light, and for hope. Liberia does not wait to be rescued. Liberia rises with its partner and builds, breathes, and believes again. Let this day be remembered far beyond the machine we unveil, but for the life we uplift. For in every breath that flows through these pipes, Liberia is beyond surviving, it is rising. rising with light, rising with life, rising with love. And as long as we rise together, no village shall be too remote, to dream too distant, and no child too forgotten. The sun has kissed Sano today, and the whole nation grows because of it. Thank you so much. These are the words of the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you, Dr. King. So we'll call on the Department of Administration and Ministry of Health, the Assistant Minister of Administration, Mr. Richard Colley.
Of the Vice President's office here present, representative of the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia here present, the Honorable Dr. Louis Maplepoto, Minister of Health, Deputy Ministers, the SMT, Minister of Health. Our partners, critical care, medicine, and all other protocol to observe. A lot has already been said, but permit me to again extend our heartfelt gratitude to the critical care medicine, the Sccm, and its collaborative partners for the implementation of this significant project. The construction of the oxygen plant signifies another milestone in the quest for a better healthcare system. It is also a testament to the improvement of our system. May I use this occasion to congratulate and applaud the resilience and steadfastness of the county health team in ensuring that this project was realized. The Ministry of Health, under the leadership of workaholic and illustrious Minister Dr. Louis Maplepoto, is elevating and improving the standards of health facilities well equipped with that in needs to function. We thank the Minister for her stance on making our health system better. A big thanks go to the government of Liberia, headed by His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai, Sr., for providing a responsible leadership that has created the enabling environment, consummating this kind of partnership for the betterment of the Liberian people. We thank you, Mr. President. Today, as part of improving the system, we are here to dedicate one of those essential, if not one of the most important equipment that plays a pivotal role in the stability of a patient. Finally, it is our hope that the county health team will properly monitor and manage the use of this plant for the purpose necessary. Thank you, and may God richly bless us all.
Thank you. I would now like to call on Mr. Corva B. Molva from RREA for brief remarks.
Kindly allow me to stand on the existing protocol. I'm from the Rural Renewable Energy Agency. Portion of our work and our mandate is to extend electrification in rural parts of Liberia. So I'm in present on behalf of our executive director. We just want to tell the Ministry of Health and its partners, thanks for this initiative. As we currently have ongoing projects with the Ministry of Health through the World Bank. Currently, we are electrifying under the phase 1, the Liberia Access Project. Under the phase 1, we are currently electrifying up to 90 health facilities in Liberia. And at the moment, on the phase 1, we have gone up to 98% electrifying these health facilities in Liberia. We are talking about the Western Cluster and the Southeastern part of Liberia. Based on that performance, the World Bank has also granted us phase 2 of that project. So that also added educational facility as well. But for the Ministry of Health, we are adding additional 113 87 health facilities. 87 health facilities under phase 2. So with this initiative, we are happy from the Rural Renewable Energy Agency. This is also we are just telling our Ministry of Health partners that this opportunity should not just end at Sano County, at the hospital under discussion, but also is a kind form of letting you guys know that there are other facilities too that through our partnership, through the Republic of Liberia, we are also electrifying. At the moment, there is a work ongoing at St. Francis Hospital in Riverside County. So we are currently installing up to 55 kilowatt peak solar system at the St. Francis Hospital. So it is our wish that such opportunity like this, such technology like this can be spread across Liberia. I'm not from the health part, I'm from the energy side, but one good thing that I know is that if, for any reason, Liberia can advocate, Liberia can seek equipment, delivery equipment support. If we don't have reliable power, this equipment stands chances of destroying. And also with regards to the health side, that of course we do know if there is no reliable power, there are a lot of witnesses that we have gotten from these rural health facilities with regards to delivery. If there is no current at these health facilities, the possibility of giving safe delivery, the chances is very, very slim. So we just want to say thanks again. Thanks for this opportunity. This is a clear blend. This is a clear blend to be able to merge with renewable energy. Thanks a lot. Thanks again.
Health Services will call on the Assistant Minister for Community Services, Dr. Tia Sccm, for a brief remark.
Good morning to our Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Louisa Nkoto, distinguished guests, the partners. We say thank you for this day. Today is a wonderful day in the history of Liberia, especially our health sector. And I just want to ask a brief question, which I already have the answer to. So, like it is written in the Bible, what can we say of all of these things? So now the answer is, go and see and testify of the great transformation. So on behalf of the Department of Health Services, we extend appreciation to all of our stakeholders who work overtime to ensure the successful implementation of this project in southeastern Liberia. We know the terrain there is rough, it is hard to reach, and sometimes people will sit and say, what good can come from the southeast? But we are here to change the narrative as we work together as Ministry of Health, the partners, and even the county health team. So for this great achievement, we want to say thank you. You have invested in health service delivery in that part of Liberia, and we can assure you that we will work with the county health team, the emergency medical service unit, to ensure an efficient and sustainable use of the solar fuel and the oxygen plant. Once again, we want to extend our appreciation, and we pray that similar project will go across all of our needed terrains in Liberia. Thank you.
Turning over ceremony and the signing of the MOU. The official turning over ceremony will be done by Dr. Jose L. Pasqua, who will be here present for the official turning over ceremony, and then we'll follow by the signing of the MOU.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we're going to do this ceremony. As we're setting up, I wanted to say a few words. The Honorable Minister of Health, the distinguished guests here, with all protocols observed, it's a real pleasure to be here representing the Society of Critical Care Medicine. There are 17,000 members that come from all over the world, 70 countries. And even though the society is based in Chicago, as a medical society, it has members that are nurses, doctors, physiotherapists, pharmacists. And in association with Direct Relief, we've been able to create an incredible, as you heard, oxygen generating system in the forefront of a very efficient and clean solar-powered energy system. Oxygen, as we heard, is critically related to intensive care medicine. We found that out, as we said, during COVID. Many people died during COVID in the United States, but in West Africa and in Liberia. And constant oxygen, consistent oxygen in the background of a power grid is essential in that case. In the FJ Grant Hospital, under the leadership of Dr. Sampson, as we heard, we were able to install this double system. It's been 100% operational and generating power since April. And the oxygen ability is 70%, this one here, 70% more efficient than the traditional production of oxygen in the past. But what we haven't heard is the project is even more ample, because there's been, as part of it, education of the biomedical engineers so that they can keep supporting the system, repairing the system, and updating the system for years to come, even when we will be gone away. And today's turning ceremony will celebrate that. But that's not it. With the Society of Critical Care Medicine, we've also brought the teaching, the fundamentals of critical care course to nurses, doctors in the ICU at the bedside to teach them how to take care of patients. So on behalf of the Society of Critical Care membership, I thank you for bringing us to Liberia and giving me a chance to do this project. Thank you.
No, no problem.
What Dr. Moore says sums everything up. He said, what can we say for these things? So in light of all of this that is happening, what can we say? We want to express our sincere thanks and appreciation on behalf of His Excellency, the President, Joseph Yumam, to the Society of Critical Care and his partners for the work that you have done in Liberia. We also asked him whether these piping and oxygen, piping and the solar plants can be cascaded in other counties. Will be available for safety of also, the capacity building aspect is very, very important because after you have left, the people that will take over and take care of these solar as well as the oxygen plants with the biomedical technicians. I also just like to inform you that as the Ministry of Health, we have been bringing in medical materials since we took over. And we have been thinking, how can we manage, how can we maintain the sustainability of this material? So we're now in collaboration with JFK Hospital to open a biomedical school just for technicians. So working with our biomedical team that are developing the curriculum after it has been validated. We hope that academic 2026 at the TNI will start. So we are in line with exactly what we are doing, we are in line. So thank you so much. What can we say exactly?
So a couple of comments I want to say that are very important. Is this working well? Okay. Number one, the Society of Critical Care Medicine is very happy to have contributed 10,000 United States dollars that we provided to the Ministry of Health last year, I believe, to help with the development, actually, of the Biomedical Center of Excellence, actually. And so they've actually showed us the computers, the LCD screens, the chairs, all of the different equipments that they purchased that are placed over at Starbase right now, where it possibly might be the biomedical center, because there's plenty of space there, but it'll be up to them. I would also like to say that when we are talking about this project at home, we get a lot of questions from people at home. The questions are, it's just going to go defunct after a while. It will stop working because they won't fund the maintenance. It requires a certain amount of money for maintenance. The biomedical techs, they won't be able to maintain it. You're just wasting your money. I don't agree with that. Do you guys agree with that? No. Do we have faith in the Liberian Ministry of Health? Yes. Do we have faith that the Liberian Ministry of Health is going to make sure that it's properly resourced, that they have the filters and the special oil that is necessary to maintain this oxygen delivery system? Yes. Our friend here from PCI Gases is here. He's a representative. And you know what they have taught me? That basically this oxygen delivery system requires less maintenance costs, than other systems. Yes, it requires less maintenance costs because there are some steps in the generation of oxygen that aren't necessary in this system to maintain. So there's even less filters, okay? And so basically there's also maintenance required in the solar system. You have to clean the panels and all that stuff, and we've helped them to start that. Do we believe that Liberia is going to help maintain that solar system? Yes! Okay, all right, that's great. Okay, so those are the responsibilities that are included in this agreement. That yes, we're handing the system over, the solar system and the oxygen system over to the government, but we also expect the government to support, to maintain it for perpetuity. So big thank you to the Ministry of Health for committing to do that. Thank you.
we want to invite Andy. Andy, please come up. Direct relief. Let's give Andy a thunderous applause as a council. PCR glasses, sorry.
So, I think we learned that direct relief has done a lot for Liberia. So the gases, is that PCR gases? Yes, so let's allow you to say something after we have done. But you are not from Monserrato County. This gun signifies honor. So you're from Monserrato County. Johnson? Cheeseman.
All right.
I just wanted to thank you for this incredible honor. This has been one of the most amazing experiences I've had for a long time. I just want to thank you for PCR gases, for the honor that you actually bestowed on not only myself but also our technology in terms of being able to produce oxygen on site for so many people. And I think it's going to affect a lot of lives. Air is not only producing oxygen as such, it's actually saving lives. And that's what we are passionate and what we believe in. And the energy efficient system that we provided will give you a lot of savings that will accrue over many, many years. And maintenance savings that will accrue as well will be very sustainable. Our system is environmentally friendly. We make sure that we have an oil-free system, so there's no oil requirements. As John was talking a little bit about earlier, about the oil canisters required, etc., for maintaining particular systems. Ours is oil-free completely, so we don't need oil, which is absolutely amazing in terms of how we design and develop the system. So thanks again for this exceptional honor, and I humbly accept this. Thank you, Rob.